I was attempting to give my vision just before the news broke.
Sure, go right ahead.
And certainly I share with you, as many black people would share with you, that we have always wanted to see all of the races get along together. We have always wanted to see that kind of egalitarian society established, where there is loving, caring, and sharing, and where that abounds in the atmosphere. But as we look at it now, we can see that no matter how we faced tanks and dogs and troops in the streets to keep us out of high schools, to keep us out of colleges and away from public accommodations, then to give us so-called civil rights and then turn around and take the civil rights gains back. Right. Now black people are beginning to come to the point where we want to just do something for ourselves and let white people go on and do whatever the hell they want to do.
Execution, start the revolution. 100 years up from slavery, we are still giving, let me have, can you spare? The question is, have we made progress? Execution, start the revolution. The black man is public enemy number one. Public enemy number one is the black man. Why is the black man public enemy number one of the white man? The black man is public enemy number one because the world is a white male-dominated world. Execution, start the revolution. A Holocaust museum was set up for them on this soil for over $200 million, and they get $21 million annually just for operating expenses. But the Catholic Church, the Pope, the Jews, the Arabs, white people in general, no one wants to pay reparations to these, the sons and daughters of Africa. So I speak to them. Execution, start the revolution. There must be some place where white folks can come. Now, white folks, we can't keep them out of here. This is Harriet Tubman. This is school. If they came in here, if they can sit under the fire that I'll put on there behind, they're welcome. But when they come, I ain't changing nothing for them. If anything, it's going to get hotter and harder because I got examples to point to sitting in the audience. I many times tune right in on them. Sitting right in the audience. Look at that old ugly beast sitting there. Look at the way he's squirming. White folks, I say, should never be able to come into a black revolutionary meeting and be comfortable. And be comfortable. They shouldn't be comfortable. They should be uncomfortable. Execution, start the revolution. You used to rule the earth. Now we groveling at some cracker's feet. And if your brother stands up and speaks boldly and speaks of war with the enemy, you back off from him and run like a little sissy. Execution, start the revolution. 100 years up from slavery, Dr. Felder, we still wear the crude clothes, the all cast-off clothes of the white man. We're still polo. Because the white man sees us as niggas who've been so poor and who've lived so long. We still Tommy Hill niggas. Faking it until we can make it. Execution, start the revolution. And so he fears that the black man will one day wake up. And if the black man, and when the black man one day wakes up, then there is the end to the white man's white supremacy. Execution, start the revolution. Oh, he does not spare the black woman. For the black woman is spotted and speckled with all of the shades of color of the color spectrum. Number one, she is all of the colors because she is the original woman. And out of her comes the black, the brown, the red, the yellow, and yes, out of her comes the white. But she is spotted and speckled today in another sense because of the rape of our great-great-grandmothers and our great-great-great-grandmothers. I'm not going to get into that. Hell, all of them were great. Straight on down the line. Execution, start the revolution. The white man is not a devil, but the devil. He is wicked by nature. He's the number one murderer, the number one robber, the number one raper, the number one lyncher, the number one enslaver, the number one colonizer. He is the chief shedder of blood on the face of the planet Earth, and no one has come close even to equaling the shedding of blood of the white man. Execution, start the revolution. We need a nation of our own, a land of our own. We must have freedom and independence. We must have freedom indeed. Execution, start the revolution. Black people have been robbed, as I said earlier, of a knowledge of self. And when you rob people, sir, of a knowledge of self, then it means that they start to take on the characteristics and the nature of their oppressor and their colonizer. And his mind, by automatic, systematic, remote control, rules in our people. He gives them the guns and the weapons and the drugs and the alcohol, the way you did our brothers, the red man and the red woman, brothers and sisters, the way you did our Latino brothers and sisters, and then you pit one against the other and then say, look at what these people are doing. Execution, start the revolution. You built the pyramids geographically in the very center of the earth, and the white man, with all of his architectural knowledge and genius and school, is still calling it one of the wonders of the world, which means this cracker is still wondering how you were able to do it. Execution, start the revolution.
Reverse racism. We keep hearing that on the program. If someone is able to come into your home and kick the door down with their weapons in their hand, rob everybody in the house and rape everybody in the house, and on their way out of the door you trip them down and take their gun from them and put their gun to their head, does that make you a reverse robber and a reverse rapist? If the slave is able to take the whip from the slave master and start beating the slave master with his own whip that he's been beating him with for 400 years, does that make the slave now a reverse slave master?
Execution, start the revolution. If it's a communist country, you find the white communists on top and the black communists on the bottom. Execution, start the revolution. Hitler's struggle. I went to the Holocaust Memorial Museum and I tried to separate Hitler as a freak of nature from the rest of white people. But after all that we have gone through, I know that there's a little bit of Hitler in all white people. Execution, start the revolution. El Reed, as they steal all over, that's why they call Rubenstein and Goldstein and Silverstein, because they're stealing gold and silver and rubies all over the earth. Execution, start the revolution. We are the true Jews, the true Hebrews, the true and real Israelites whose birthright has been stolen by them. We are the true ones that fulfill Bible prophecy and scriptures. Execution, start the revolution. Sister Assata Shakur was freed because of a black liberation army that went in and took her from the white man and freed her from the jails of white America. Execution, start the revolution.
So whites are in the superior position, no matter what the social, political, economic, or religious order, because of the wickedness and the underhandedness of the white man the world over.
Execution, start the revolution.
And I know that there are some whites who are standing up against their own people for the injustices that have been perpetrated against black people and dark people throughout the earth. But I can't trust them the way the Indians trusted them, the way my forebears trusted them in Africa. Even if I closed my eyes, I could never close both eyes. I'd have to always keep one eye open.
Execution, start the revolution. It is your bloodshed, and it is, that brought the white man into existence. That it must be your and my bloodshed that will keep him in power and in control. And so white supremacy and global white domination and rabid racism that runs rampant throughout the face of the planet Earth is based on the murder of the black man and black woman, but black man first. Execution, start the revolution. 100 years up from slavery, some of you have kinked your hair, some of you have napped your hair, some of you have locked your hair, and it looks beautiful, but you still had it made hamburger with lettuce and tomatoes on the side. 100 years plus up from slavery, and we still wear slave names. Execution, start the revolution.
What we must understand is that at Arsenio Hall or Bill Cosby or If we are to look at a Spike Lee or an Oprah Winfrey, that is dependent upon white acceptance. White people must accept them and must allow them in. They are very talented, but there are many, many other black people who are equally and in some cases even more talented.
Absolutely.
But white people only allow one or two token blacks in who will serve certain purposes.